Hello and welcome to this crocheted purse tutorial. Our tools that we will be using is a pair of scissors, a size H 5.00 millimeter hook, a tapestry needle, and this is something that I have purchased at a secondhand store. It is a necklace with some heavy trim on it with beads. It is approximately 16 inches long. The yarn we'll be using Red Heart Super Saver in the color Soft White, and Michael's Impeccable in the color Cherry. To begin our tutorial, we're going to use one of each of the colors and join it together, and we're going to start with our chain. We do not need a long tail for this, so let's place a slip knot on our hook, tighten it up, and we're going to chain 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep going until you get to 30. After you have reached 30, we're going to be starting with our white color. So place the yarn in your hand, just the white one, and do one chain through both of the colors. So this, you will end up with just one yarn on your hook. We're going to take the red and we're going to go along the chains. This is known as tapestry crochet. Okay? And in this tutorial we will be using a few different techniques that are not normally used but are used in other areas of crochet. So we're going to skip 3 chains. We do not count the loop on our hook, so let's count back. 1, 2, and here's our third one. Place your hook in the center, picking up both colors of those yarn and the red. We're going to carry the red with us. Draw up a loop. Now what we're going to create is a stitch known as extended single crochet. Normally when you do a crochet, you yarn over and go through both loops. In this case, we're going to make this single crochet a little bit taller and have a different look to it. So yarn over and just through the one loop on the hook. Yarn over and through the 2 loops on the hook. You'll notice that this stitch has like 2 chains, and it gives it a totally different look. It has a really nice end result. So we're going to do this one more time. Drop a loop, yarn over through the first loop, and yarn over through the second. Also, did you carry the red? Okay. Remember, every time we make a stitch, we have to carry one of the 2 colors, the ones that we're not using. So for our next stitch, we're going to change colors. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over through the 1 loop, and then stop. Bring your white forward, pick up your red, and then with the red, yarn over and through the 2 loops on your hook. Okay? Now you'll also notice that this loop from the other color is a little bit larger. We want to make it the same length, and then take the yarn and bring it along our chain stitch, and then tighten up our red as well. It may seem like a slow process right now, but once you do get the hang of it, it does go quicker. Okay, so our next stitch, we're going to go through the 1 chain, we're going to pick up the two colors of the chain and carry the white. We're going to draw up a loop, yarn over through one loop, and yarn over through the two. Okay, see the different look already? Let's do this again. Through the next chain, draw up a loop, through one, and through two. And in this case, if you kind of remember one and then two, it does work very well. Now, for reminding of this yarn that we're carrying, that we're stitching over, do not pull it tight. Just let it lay. If you do pull it tight, it will distort the pattern that we're trying to achieve. Okay? So I find that when you take this and lay it right next to the edge, just above those bumps, just along the edge of that stitch, you can carry that yarn nicely. So let's continue on. Through one loop, through two, through one, and then through two. Okay? So this is what we have so far. This will start at the bottom or the base of our purse. Continue on until you see that you have 1, 2, 3 stitches left, and I will meet you there. So continue with your red till you get down here. Alrighty, now that we're down here at the end, I need for you to take out one stitch. I forgot we need to change our color. So in our next stitch, so we should actually have 4 left, we're going to insert our hook, drop a loop, and then through just the one, and then we're going to bring our color forward, and we're going to pick up our white and through the 2 loops. And we want to readjust those colors, make sure everything is in right tension again. And then we're going to do the 3 white that's left. There's 1. And remember to carry your red. There's 2, and here's 3. Okay? Now the base of this purse is just going to be flat. It's not going to have any additional section. So in this last stitch here, we're going to be adding more stitches. Okay, so here's, remember to carry your red as you're going around as well. Here's 1. There's 2. Go over that knot. There's 3. And there's 4. In this last one, we should have a total of 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Now you're also going to notice you're going to have a little bit of your tail. We're going to go over that a couple of stitches and then we'll stop. So our next stitch, we want it directly across, and that'll be right here in this stitch here. So pick up the loop. Oops, don't forget the red. And I also am carrying part of the tail. So there's 1. And in our next one, we're going to be changing our color. And 2. Okay. So this one, we're going to change our color. So bring your white forward, pick up your red, and then snug up the stitches again and make sure they're all the same. Now if you want, you can let your tail hang down and we can weave that in later. So let's continue on. You'll notice that this one here is for this loop here. So pick up those two. Okay, there's one. And there's two. Okay, so continue down until you get to this one here, just above. We're going to change color on the next one. This is what we should have so far. On this side we have 23 red, so on this side we should have 22 of the red. And our next one, we're going to change our color. So go ahead and insert your hook, pick up the two chains and your tail, draw up a loop, bring your red forward, and pick up your white and through the last two loops. And in our next stitch, got one, got another one, okay. Now here's the loop for the last one. Okay, we're going to be going through that loop right there. Can you see that? Right here. So in this last one here, we're going to add just the one. Okay, now we're going to add 3 more. And you're probably going to have to go through, we're going to have to manipulate some of these chains around. So pull them over and make sure you're carrying your red from behind. Here's 1, here's 2, and here's our last one. This way it'll give us the same amount that we have on one side to the other. So now we're going to slip stitch into the first one that we started of our row. Okay, and then we're going to chain 2. Whoops, let's go back. I made a mistake. I forgot to carry my yarn up. So once you slip stitch, take the color from behind and carry it forward, then pick up your white, because the color that we're carrying forward, you see how our white is going to be behind, so we got to bring this one up and over and bring it forward and then chain 2. Okay, now we're going to take this red and we're going to place it behind right here along the edge of our stitching. And that'll help hide it as we go starting our new row. So let's move on. We're going to have a chain color change here pretty soon. So we got 1 and 2. Okay, let's stop for just a second. Go ahead and get a stitch marker. I think we're going to find that that'll be easier to help you to find where that stitch is at. I have a stitch marker that has a little lock device on it, and I'm going to put that right there to signify that that's where our row stops and starts at. Now if you want to use just a piece of yarn, you can do that as well. So now on making these diagonals, you'll notice that this stitch we stopped here is in line with this stitch right here. That means this next one is going to be our color change, so that we can have the diagonal going this direction. So make sure you carry your red. We're going to pick up the 2 stitches, draw up a loop, and then bring our white forward, pick up our red, and through the 2. And as before, adjust the yarns and then take the white and go back behind and adjust your red to make sure you have the same chain length that you need. And then through the next color, or I mean the next stitch, and here we have our first part of diagonal. You see how the colors are starting to go in this direction here. And then we're going to go with the red across and make sure you're carrying your white behind you. Can you see how I got it right here at the top, but not over those chain stitches? Now in tapestry crochet, there is a bag known as a mochila, which is done in Central America. They carry approximately 3 or 4 different colors. They use a single crochet stitch, and their bags are absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. I love looking at the creative designs that they've come up with. They either follow a graph or they have just time-proven designs that they've passed on from person to person or just designer to designer. So we're going to keep on going. Here my yarns are, I pulled out enough yarn, but it seems like they're interlocking with my fingers here. Okay, let me show you what the back looks like. You see how we're carrying? Okay, and then this is the front. So if you just let it lie there, it will work out just fine. And I'm keeping this going because I wanted, oops, look at, you see what I did when I stopped and talked? I didn't make sure that my tension was correct. Make sure your tension is correct and then continue on. The reason why I'm continuing on with this is because I didn't want to stop and start with the coloring, because when we got down to the other end, the diagonal is going to be going in a different direction. So I wanted to show you what we're going to be doing here. And we're almost there. I hope you enjoy this little project that we're doing. I think it'll look super nice. The necklace that I found was at a thrift store. I did pay $1 for it. And sometimes they just have nice things that people don't want anymore. I thought the cording was nice and heavy that can be used for this purposes as a handle for the purse. Alright, now here we are, we have 2 stitches left. In this, we're going to be changing colors on our next stitch. Now this is not the same as this side right here. What we're going to be doing here is the diagonal direction is going to be going this way. Okay, the other one went this way. So we're creating kind of like a pyramid or a triangle here. So this next one, we're going to go ahead and change our color. So we're going to insert our hook, draw up a loop, okay, bring our red forward. Well, in this case we're going to take it backwards. We're going to pull up the white, snug everybody down just a little bit, and we're going to bring our red down here so that we can carry it again. Now you'll notice that I carried it backwards this time. A lot of times when the way you place it will also determine on how your results are going to be. Now you see how this is going to create a diagonal this way? So remember to carry your red. Alright. So this red one has a white one above it. Okay, so as we go around the corner, continue to carry your red around. Now if your yarn gets tangled up like this, take your work, twist it over a couple of times, and the tangle will come out. There we go. We don't want our yarn to be tangled. So let's pick up our white and let's continue around. And we're just placing one stitch per stitch. I have long hair and it follows me wherever I go. Try not to let your hair get woven into your projects. Yeah, my hair is almost down to my waist. It's getting there. And we are almost at another color change. Now, as you notice, this is going to curve up. You want to make it so that it cups everything inward. And notice I still have my red. Okay, now here we are at our white, the white and red change again. Our next one will be our color change. So insert your hook, draw up a loop, bring the yarn forward, and then go through the two. Oops. I was thinking of something else. I'm sorry. We need to go through the one loop, okay? And then yarn over and through the two. Yes, even I make mistakes. I hope you're laughing with me. Okay, so now we're going to do our red. Okay, now keep on going until you have the two reds. So you want to stop here on the third one. Continue with the red till here and I'll meet you there. I have 3 red left. Let's see, we want to do one here. Our second one that we're going to do will be our color change. Okay, so we're going to take this red and we're going to go back, and then we're going to bring up our new color. Okay, and then we're going to take and snug up everything again and snug it up, and then our white will be totally above this red one. Okay, so let's continue on, and we're going to be up here where our stitch change is, or I should say our row change with our stitch marker. Sometimes I talk and think too fast. Okay, now as we go around this curve, one stitch per stitch. We're not adding any stitches around our curve. Alright, so here we are at our stitch marker. Let's remove our stitch marker. Now here, at this point we do not need the red, so I'm not going to carry it up. Now we have 2 chains here. At the top of the chain, go ahead and make a slip stitch. Now before we go any further, you want to take the red from behind and bring it over, and then we're going to chain 2. And what this does is it helps bring it up from the previous row. So here's 1 and then 2. And then place your red along the edge because we have to do our new stitch for this row. Okay, and then get your stitch marker and go back into that chain 2 space right there. And then we're going to be close to another color change. Now I noticed here that you'll see these colors. This will be at the bottom of our purse. Please don't let it affect your overall look. It will be at the bottom. Okay. Now here we have this the end of the color, so our next stitch will be our color change. Now if you did watch my other purse on the diagonal, it shows how we all went in the one direction of the diagonal, and so this is basically that same direction. The one going in the opposite direction on the other side of our bag here is where things are just a little bit different. Okay, so we've completed another color change. Okay, keep going until you get to your third one. Remember, your next one will be your color change, and your last one will be the new white color. Go ahead and do this row and this all the way around till you hit your stitch marker. See if you can do that by yourself. I think you can. Just remember, when you change colors on the diagonal of the red going up, you want to bring your color forward. On this one right here, when you make your color change, you want your color to go backwards. Okay, see how you have a nice transition? It does make a difference on if you pull it forward or backwards, because it will make it look a little different. And we will be folding our purse this way, so you can see already how we're starting to get our little diagonal look. So like I just said, go ahead until you hit your stitch marker and see how you're doing. I think you'll do just fine, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so how did you do? Did you go around just fine and carry your yarn? Okay, so what I would like for you to do now is to keep on going until the red has 3 stitches up here. You'll be doing your diagonal, and then the white will increase. So the majority of this will be white as your red disappears down. Okay, so keep on going, and I will meet you when you have completed the row that has 3 red in the center. Here we are at 3 red. So this is what we have so far. Okay, and on the inside you can see where I've carried all the colors. So yours should look like that too. You can't really see the red here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to start increasing. So we're going to make it so that our colors now are going to go out in this direction. So basically we're going to take the white and make it look like a diamond over here on this side. Alright, so I have chained 2, and I'm going to go with my white till I get to this, the third one here. Okay, and then we're going to change colors and do the same thing like we were doing on this side, except our colors are going to be opposite. So I'm going to continue across till we get to close to the red. I hope you found this to be pretty simple for you. I try not to find things that would be difficult to make. And the speed that you see I am going at is the speed I usually do my crochet at. I'm not a fast, but I don't think I'm slow either. Okay, so here I have 2 left. I'm going to change my color in this one here. Okay, so I'm going to take it to the back because we're going like we're doing this. We're taking the diagonal this way. I'm going to pick up my red, and then I'm going to snug everybody up again. And then we're going to increase our red. Okay, you can see already we have the 3, now we have 4. So we should have 5 reds on this row. Okay, we have 1 more. This will be our color change. So we want to bring the red to the front because it's going to be the same as we were over here. I'm going to pick up my white and snug everybody else back up, and I'm going to continue on with my white. Okay, can you see how our design's starting to go back out? Okay, so continue around. If you have any problems with this, restart your video back to where we started right here, and that'll help you to move along. When you get here, chain 2, move up to your next row. You should add your red here and here. So your next row you should have 7. Okay, so keep on going, and I'll see you when we have the same amount we have here, we're going to have up here. Okay, I thought I'd let you know that I have 23 red here, so when I finish the diagonal going up this way, I should have 23 up here in red as well. When you have 23 across, or whatever number you have down here, which should be 23, make that your last row, and then I'll show you how to add the finishing rows. Well, we have gotten to the point of where we have 23 here and 23 here, and I think it looks super nice. Okay, so I've gotten to the point here where I'm at my white. I am going to create a white border around the top, because as you can tell, my straps that I'm going to add on have a lot of red in them. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my red, and I'm going to make it about an 8-inch tail on it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this red and I'm going to go through the white on the back here, just pick up a few, and then in the red I'm going to weave it in to finish it off. So here's where I'm going to go through just those back loops, and you don't want it tight through here. And so skip the first one, go over it, and then go back into the centers of the other stitches and keep it loose but snug, and then over the first one and then back into the center of the other ones, and that'll help lock that in. Okay, so we are ready to move on to our top row. So we're going to chain 2 again, 1, 2, and then we're going to half double crochet. Let me make one and I'll show you. Okay, so what you do is place your finger on your loop, yarn over, and then put your hook through the chain and pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. This stitch is the same height as our extended single crochet. So I wanted to keep them both at the same height. So what we're going to do is just go around and place 1 single crochet, half double crochet in each stitch, like so. And when you get back here, I'll meet you there. After our last stitch has been completed, we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. And let's leave a little tail. And let's finish it off. Here's our top of our bag. So let's weave this in. It will be done the same way that we did our red one. We're going to go through the center of the back loops. First you want to come down here and kind of make it go under. And then we're going to go through the center of these back loops. Maybe pull up 5 stitches and then come back. And over and under again. While I was out in the store, I also saw this brooch. It has a little locking device on it. I guess you could say it's more of a lapel pin, but I thought it would look so pretty right here in the center of where our X meets. What do you think? Do you think you'd like it as well? Anyway, we need to sew on our straps. You'll notice here I have some little extra. I'm going to go ahead and take those off, and I'm only going to use the little locking device that came with my handle. So let me remove those and we'll sew on our strap here. You know, I get my fingernails done about once a month. It's gel nails. I think they look so pretty. I'm a pipe fitter by trade in the shipyard, and you can tell my hands get really... But I wanted to show you how strong these gel nails are. I have to. I really have to. I can take this and with my nails just miracles never cease, right? Okay, so now that I have these off, this nice little handle is going to go right here on both sides. See if I can get that in the camera view right there. So I'm going to put some white yarn on my hook, on my needle here, and I will be right back. Oops. I put the camera on wide lens. I do use a GoPro. It does great for focus. So what I wanted to show you is I have my purse, it's in half here. So I want to come here and find the center, which looks like it's going to be this stitch right here. So I'm going to come in from the back on the top row, and I'm going to leave a little tail and into that end piece it will go, and then I'll just do a basic whip stitch. Okay, I went through it twice. I'm going to go through it one more time, and then I'm going back to the other side. And we'll snug everybody up here. And I'm just going to tie a square knot. Now the design on these bags, because of the straps, will only be for things that are not extremely heavy. Now if you're planning on going out, say like for the evening, and you choose to use this bag, this would be a nice touch. You could put your cell phone, your keys, your ID, and it would be nice. If you plan on putting a ton of makeup and a bunch of other things on it, these little clasp things might not hold all the weight, and you would have to probably consider a different form of strap. So the other side will be sewn on the same way, and here's what our finished bag will look like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I appreciate you watching my videos, and I plan on making some more videos for the future with crochet in mind. Please join me again. Have a great day. Happy crocheting, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.